A comprehensive and resilient energy plan is now in place to secure an uninterrupted power supply for the upcoming G20 Leaders Summit, but also for the overall energy supply to residents and business in our province. All primary electrification for key avenues and corridors is now complete, with final minor work scheduled for timely conclusion in the next few weeks. Our energy robust plan includes multiple layers of security, high-mast solar lighting, and the protection of cables so that we can be in a position to enhance safety and emergency response. We've installed emergency generators that in case of power failure, these generators can come to our rescue. We have monitored the energy power at OR Tambo International Airport, the ICC, and key hotels, so that during the summit and beyond, we don't have energy challenges that can disrupt the flow of visitors in our province. This integrated effort, a collaboration between our Department of COCTA and DID, not only ensures energy stability, but also incorporates beautification and safety measures. Supported by ESCOM, we'll continue to monitor the energy supply in our province. Furthermore, the lessons in energy resilience from these events are being captured to strengthen the provincial energy plan, aligning with the 7th administration broader energy transition and security agenda, ensuring a legacy of reliable power management beyond the summit. In terms of public spaces, we've removed grass and started to cut grass instantly. We've deployed teams to do litter picking and cleaning of central business district CBDs, as well as dealing with illegal dumps that needed to be cleared so that we can create a better public spaces that is green, but most importantly, welcoming to tourists. New street furniture and bins have been installed in key areas, including the cradle of humankind, where we expect to host more tourists who want to see this wonder of the world. We've rehabilitated streetlights in almost all major routes. We've enhanced safety, and furthermore, we've developed and strengthened all our recycling stations so that all of them can be operational in our province. However, the last 2 weeks or so rainfall has given us an extra work because grass started to grow again, but we are convinced that the team is up to the task. In terms of disaster management, the Gauteng Disaster Management Center has been fully activated and is standing ready to ensure a secure and seamless G20 Leaders Summit. A comprehensive multi-agency command center has been established, integrating all emergency services, law enforcement, and essential service providers to facilitate real-time coordination and rapid response. With personnel strategically deployed and a state-of-the-art technology for monitoring and communication, the center is prepared to manage any potential scenario from medical emergencies and security incidents to logistical disruptions, so that we can ensure the safety of all delegates and the uninterrupted progress of this critical global gathering. Some of our disaster management plans, unfortunately, can't be made public for obvious reasons. In terms of safety and security, Gauteng is well equipped to ensure safe and secure environment for all participants and our residents. The South African Police Service, in full coordination with all other law enforcement agencies, has robust plans in place that we've all adopted and accepted, that these are the plans that will make sure that Gauteng is safe. Our multi-level law enforcement strategy will see delegates escorted by a unified force comprising of SABC, National Traffic Police, Gauteng Provincial Traffic, and all metropolitan police departments will be deployed to escort and support our visitors. A coordinated and comprehensive strategy has ensured that the province's main ports of entry, that is OR Tambo International Airport, Fireblade Airport, Lanseria International Airport, and Waterkloof Air Force Base, are all operating at an elevated state of readiness. These are the ports of entries that will be utilized by almost all the heads of states that will be visiting. This includes streamlined and enhanced security protocols and exceptional logistical support to facilitate the seamless and secure arrival and departure of all international guests. The ongoing rollout of CCTV cameras across the province forms a backbone of a critical part of our strategy to utilize technology in the fight against crime. A legacy project that will continue to protect residents for years to come. We are also taking advantage of this event to boost tourism in our province. We are of the strong view that majority of visitors will start to stream in as early as next week. So we are therefore in advanced discussion with our major tourist areas, not only to prepare, but to send a strong message that will allow people to come back beyond the G20. The G20 Leaders Summit will bring a large influx of visitors, including heads of states, delegates, media, personnel, thus creating a demand for hotels, transportation, local businesses, particularly in the hospitality and retail sectors. In our discussion with the hospitality industry, our major hotels are almost full, thus bringing the economy of Gauteng at a better level. So delegates can look forward to a vibrant atmosphere that reflects the energy and innovation that Gauteng is known for. So we are calling for disruptors. We are calling for those that are hell-bent to disrupt events and do wrong things. So that our guests can indeed say, we'll come back to visit Gauteng. We'll then send a strong message that our country is safe, as we fight those that continue to peddle lies that our country is not safe. As I conclude, we have maintained that the G20 must be meaningful and accessible and be accessible to ordinary citizens. We have now done so. We have actively engaged with civil society, business, youth, labor, and people with disabilities through extensive outreach programs. This includes G20 awareness campaigns in the townships, main roads, and G20 billboards to advertise and welcome those that are coming to our province. The summit is expected to yield significant benefits for Gauteng, including increased investment, job creation, and to boost the tourism and hospitality sectors of our economy. It also provides a global platform to share our growth strategy, growing Gauteng together, as we position our province as a destination of choice for investors. As we prepare to hand over this province to national government, we do so with immense pride and confidence that Gauteng is ready. We have worked as one, we have delivered on our commitments, and we are prepared to offer the world a warm and exceptionally unique experience about our province. Gauteng is ready. Zwagala. Let's make this an experience that we'll all love. Thank you so much, Elijah.
Thank you very much, Premier. The mic is not working. Colleagues, as you can see that we also have MECs, we also have HODs in the room, we also have representatives of entities that are also in the room, as well as municipalities, and I think I saw a mayor here. So everyone that the Premier has referred to in the early parts of his presentation in terms of intergovernmental relations, they are in the room, so they will be able to answer any questions that you might have. So feel free to ask as many questions as possible. We also have a presentation that will show with you the things that the Premier was talking to are also covered in the presentation that we're going to share with you in terms of the evidence of the work that has been done. But Premier, I'm going to request members of the media to now ask questions, and we will then have to deal with them. By raise of hand, please indicate your name and who you work for, so that we're able to take questions in a structured format. My colleagues will have to assist me with the coordination of the questions. Let me just start here in front. I'm going to ask that perhaps, Premier, if you can take like 3 hands, and then we take a set of 3 and then we'll address these questions. So we'll start with you right here in front, and then we'll come to you. Please.
It's Timothy Bernard from the African News Agency. Premier, during the World Cup we had special courts. Will we have something similar to that? We are also aware of a gentleman that went on to social media a couple of weeks ago stating that we might not be 100% ready. He was arrested this morning. Any comment on that?
Thank you so much. Let's take the second question.
This is my name, what did I use? You just spoke about the security concerns and it's been addressed. Premier, what is the message for those that they are busy pulling the trigger in the province, in every street corner, on a daily basis? What is the message for them? And beyond the event as well, as we're talking about, we know that there's challenges current that are before the country when it comes to SABC. Is it the SABC ready to address the crime that is taking place, especially violent crime? Thank you very much.
Thank you for that. Let's go to the third hand, and then we'll take responses to those questions.
Thank you so much. My name is Panyaza Lesufi. I'm from TV's Online News. Just wanted to find out, how will the G20 summit benefit the people at the townships, hostels, and also around Gauteng, especially the small business entities Are there some opportunities perhaps where they can contribute in terms of whether products or any other thing that they might be contributing?
Okay.
All right, thank you so much. Premier?
Let me start with African News Agency. Well, National is still going. This was our readiness as a province. I think in the next 2 weeks, National will also come to give their resume. And you know, the issue of special courts and judiciary, it's not the mandate of the province, a national mandate. So I suspect that by that time National briefs you, they will give that. But we'll encourage that. They assisted us during World Cup 2010. But also, not all tourists or people that are coming also have good intentions. So we don't want to have a prolonged judicial process of somebody that came into our country to do also wrong things, so that we can also fast-track their cases. So let's hope National will address that. I always tell people, don't undermine our government. The person that you said is a security expert, Nasrec has been declared as a no-go area. So if somebody wants to go there to prove that security is not there, he was arrested to prove that security is there. That's why he was arrested. So we want to warn our people, don't take chances. Don't take chances. We are quite aware, and we are working extremely hard, that there are other people that also will be coming from other provinces, thinking that they can take chances. You will see the highest form of security we have not seen for quite some time. And remember, we learn from each event. In 2002, we hosted the BRICS event, or 2018. So we build up from the last event. And that's the reason that we know areas of deep concerns and how we can. But we've used some meetings as dry run. We had ministerial meetings of international guests here. We also had working committee meetings here. So we have a good grasp of areas of concerns and areas that we need to improve. But overall, I've never felt so confident about our readiness. Gauteng is tricky, difficult, and extremely dangerous. So if you can't manage it, it can create a serious embarrassment to all of us. So we really need to work exceptionally hard. And I always tell the team, you'll not be ready until the event starts. Even though where we are ready, but until the event starts, we can't claim that we are 100% ready. We just need to ensure that we don't go on a slumberland and think that we've dealt with everything. I mean, the preparations has been intensive. Even your apps that direct people transport, we have to be sure that they are taking them people through the right channels, just to protect everyone and ensure that we don't have surprises that would embarrass all of us. That's why we are saying to chance takers, they must not try us, like this security expert. They must not try us. We are ready and we can. Mtunzi, you know why I'm proud of the capability? Is that criminals think that things are still like previously, when they can go drive, shoot people, and we don't have the capabilities and the talent and the dictatives that we have. We broke the backbone of the Westbury drive-by shooting. And I can assure you, the police will give information soon about the Recher Park drive-by shooting. This demonstrates the capabilities that we have amassed to investigate this kind of cases. I think criminals are not aware the sophistication and the investment that we've made to crack some of the cases that have been brought to our attention. Yes, there might be one or two that escape us, but generally, I think that we have the capabilities to really track some of the cases that we have. So those that are trigger happy, the police will make an announcement on how they're dealing with some of these cases, so that we don't have this kind of things. That's the reason why we went all out to host this event in Gauteng. We're challenged. Cape Town came very strong. eThekwini came very strong. But we felt we've got the infrastructure and the know-how on how to host this kind of events. And we've just explained now, the entire hospitality industry is fully booked, which simply means those that are doing cleaning, those that are doing catering, those that are doing transport, they will start to get opportunities. The security industry is beefed up. It means those that are in the sector also will get, and those that are selling things, products. I mean, the demand of people that want to go to areas that are out of the ordinary. I mean, if you see people who want to go to what they call a miracle street, where two Nobel Peace Prize winners stay in the same street, the numbers are huge. I mean, the people of Soweto there, they will see the number of people that wants to come there, and all other areas that we have. The cradle of humankind as well. So ordinary people will benefit out of this transaction. But to us, as a province, that is why I want to use it as an investment platform, that people will now see that our country is safe. People will see that our country is in terms of infrastructure. People can come and invest here. So we're going to host a lot of investment meetings, and hopefully those investment meetings will translate into job opportunities to those that are looking for jobs. Thanks, Elijah.
Thanks very much. I'm now going to hand over to the Acting Police Commissioner in Gauteng.
All right, thanks very much, Honorable Premier, Honorable MECs, members, and media. In addition to what the Premier has alluded, with readiness, and that we are hard at work and we don't compromise.
Sorry,
Honorable Premier and Honorable MECs and members, media, good afternoon. In addition to what the Premier has alluded to prove that there's law enforcement in Gauteng, we are hard at work and we leave no stone unturned when crime and criminality happens. I'm happy to announce that last night we managed to arrest a 23-year-old man with regard to the 6 murders and attempted murders in Reiger Park. That's first thing. And secondly, while the team was busy tracing other suspects, they came across or managed to arrest a 62-year-old man in possession of over 155 Mandrax tablets, which were meant for our own children and the same community in Reiger Park. And that shows we are not in slumberland, as the Premier alluded. We are not folding arms, we are not sitting on our laurels. And the community played a very critical role and will always, play a critical role in ensuring that in support of a crime-free South Africa, a crime-free province, and non-tolerance to criminality, we work very well together. All the structures. And there will always be critics, armchair critics, and obviously some of the criticism are genuine, and we don't have to shrug them off. We listen, we follow up, we analyze. But the majority of our citizens are comfortable, and we will ensure they are happy and comfortable, including the visitors and all the inhabitants that will be within this province. I thank you.
Thank you, General. Colleagues, as I indicated, our investment in detective work our investment in investigative work is starting to yield the necessary dividends. And we are using advanced technology to support our law enforcement agencies. So we are pleased that the police have made this arrest. We are quite aware that they are chasing other people who by now we know their identity and we know everything that they've done on that unfortunate day. So I want to thank the law enforcement agencies for this. And it's the partnership that works. And I'm glad that General Kegan has also indicated the support of the people of Rachel Park on this matter. Yeah, Elijah, we can take...
Thanks, Premier. Thanks very much to the Acting Commissioner as well. We'll go to the other side now. We started on the left. Now let's go to the other side. We take 3 questions and then we'll come back to the table. Please start.
Good afternoon, my name is Tando Mayeko. Premier, in your opening statements, you mentioned how the Gauteng budget has been reprioritized in order to ensure that the G20 Leaders Summit runs successfully. Could you just kindly talk more about this reprioritization process, what has been taken from this budget to this budget, and so on and so forth? And then, have you been able to tally up how much investment or how much money is Gauteng expected to make from this G20? How much has it made already? As you said, there's some ministerial meetings that have already happened in the province, and the Leaders Summit, of course, is supposed to bring in more money for the province. So, thank you.
Thank you so much, Premier Peter Magarani News. Premier, let me clap hands for a fish that is swimming. In my area, Bearsmont here and M1 on the bridge there, traffic lights haven't been working for 14 months. Now they're working. Well done, thank you so much. At least we can use that and I can easily go home now without traffic. Thank you so much for that. Premier, was you aware of a place called Okosi Fortville? I heard you saying that municipalities are now having water, can supply water to the residents in Park. Unfortunately, that area, Premier, and then for the past few weeks, they've been battling and fighting with the municipality. And what's your intervention? At one of the protests, they were expecting you to come there, and now going to G20 Premier said that areas having water. I can assure you that one city, Kokosi, doesn't have water at all. And lastly, how much are you as the Gauteng government expecting to make from this summit? Thank you.
So I can assure you, economic predictors will give us those figures. I don't have those figures, but we are of the strong view that this will be the biggest event that will bring huge investment in our province. Remember, it's the first time, not only as a country, but as a continent, that we host a G20 meeting of leaders. So, like Tando indicated, we have redirected our budget on service delivery, which is a normal process. For example, the Department of Roads in our province, we had to give them, how much did we give you, Gideon?
150 million.
We had to give them additional 150 million to fix the street lights, to fix the traffic lights, and to fix potholes on main roads. And that's what municipalities did from their own budget. Okay, so we redirected. We didn't get new money either from national and other. The budget that we had, we redirected. I always tell people, Gauteng does not have problem of money. We have problem of using money. I mean, last year we returned almost 1.8 billion that we could not use as a province. So it's not a problem of money, it's a problem of utilization of those funds. So we are working very hard to ensure that we sustain this. To me, and that's why I said to the executive mayors and the HODs, if we can sustain this, what the court order or the court ordered yesterday in Johannesburg give us an additional leeway to legalize and formalize our CBDs. We are not closing out anyone, but we are saying do it properly. We can't have people just opening business on pavements and there are no consequences. You can't say it, but be honest. Johannesburg has never been so beautiful for quite some time. I'm glad, Peter, you know that traffic light, that was not functioning. There are two that are very stubborn. There's the one when you leave to Potchefstroom, as if you know it, the traffic lights are always
N12.
N12.
Yeah. R559.
Yeah, that's the one that is very stubborn. We fix it today, they steal the cable the following day. So we are now gaining the necessary experience and expertise to deal with these major challenges that were troubling us in the province. So, Tando, the figures will be made available as soon as we are concluded. We're still in the middle of dealing with some of the support systems that will be needed as soon as heads of state lands. And naturally, an event of this magnitude will honestly necessitate us that we protect everyone. And I said to the team, use systems properly, don't cut corners. We don't want a huge scandal after the G20 have another problem about the misuse of funds. We don't want that. So we just have to ensure that we adhere to the rules of the game, especially in terms of procurement and the utilization of budget. And I hope that we're not going to have challenges immediately after G20, because that's what we don't want. In terms of Kokosi, it's not Kokosi, it's Kokosi, it's Selby, around where we are. They are also having challenges of water. We are working together. We are saying to the municipalities, if we have a challenge as a municipality, let's get municipalities that can give us the necessary expertise, so that it's not the municipality of Rand West that is struggling with the problem of Kokosi. We can bring Tshwane, Midval to go and assist there. So we remain hopeful, and that's why we say we are working as a collective. So we remain hopeful that we can be in a position to resolve the issue of Kokosi. Indeed, I intend to visit Kokosi. They've sent memorandums to my office, and I would like to attend to their needs and the challenges that they've raised. Thanks, Elijah.
Thank you so much, Premier. There were hands this side.
Fear and Penta.
Ofentse, and we'll go to the back. Let's start with Ofentse SABC, and then we'll move to the back. Colleagues, please, those colleagues there at the back. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Premier. It's Ofentse from SABC News. You know, Gauteng was hailed as being the safest during the 2010 World Cup in June 2010, and immediately after that, things just spiraled out of control. How can we ensure that, you know, we avoid a repeat of that, as it seemed like we are prioritizing visitors over our locals? And also the Gauteng crime wardens, I know that you are in the process of phasing them out. Are they going to form part of the contingent of the law enforcement ensuring compliance with the laws of the country? Thanks.
Good afternoon, Premier, and to the rest of the NECs and leadership. Premier, I heard you speaking about all of these plans and working together, especially these IGR meetings. It seems to be very effective. My question is around policy reform. Do you think there's a need for policy reform for better working of let's call it provincial government and municipalities? So that because just yesterday I did a story, City Powers owed about 10 billion rand, and that in itself is a red flag there already that it's ineffective policy. So just your comments on that, and just on the G20 summit. The president, as he whispered in your ear, he is a resident of this province. As he whispered in your ear and told you you're doing good work, has he given you the green light yet? And then, Premier, what's your message, or what will your message be to visitors saying, look, we're seeing this mushrooming of informal settlements. You did a great job in making these cities look good for us, but you know, just on the outskirts here, there's informal, millions of people living in informal settlements. What's your message to those visitors? And then just a quick one, Premier, we were visiting the hospital there when the crime wardens were attacked in Davidson. There was, I think, 1 or 2 you were very concerned about. Did they pull through? Or what, just an update on that? Thank you so much.
I'm Kumo.
Kumo?
I'm from Verified Podcast Catch Thought. Premier, when you spoke about AI, I got excited because I am an unconventional innovator, but you didn't speak more on it. So I was interested to hear what you had to say. But my question is, when it comes to tech sovereignty, what is Gauteng or the Premier doing about it? You know, when you visit other countries, you go to Seoul, they tell you to upload or download their native apps. Papago, Naver, you go to China, it's WeChat, Dubai is Careem. In South Africa, no one is inconvenienced. No tourist is inconvenienced. They come there, they're still using their own Uber Eats, Uber for driving. What do we have, or what is your plan to ensure that at least we have tech sovereignty? Should we get hit by tech sanctions, we are not left in the dark. It has happened in Iran, Russia, and Zimbabwe. Thank you.
Kuma, me and you are in the same WhatsApp group. Yes, you're right. I always mock MECs of eGov. When we travel internationally, the first thing they ask is these apps that we're talking about, and free Wi-Fi and other things. And I tell them, but when you arrive at home, you don't do what you're asking in other words, to ensure that we've got this kind. So I agree with you. We've put a team that is advising us on digital economy and the need for us as a province. So the MEC responsible for eGov will tell you. But we're the only province that have made a huge investment in terms of the rollout of what I can say is a Gauteng broadband network. We've invested almost 4 billion, and it starts there. Because if you can have these apps and other things, but if you don't have a stable network, it's not going to assist. So we've invested almost 4 billion to have that network that is stable, and hopefully then we can build up on top of it. There's no single province that have made that kind of investment, and that's the reason why we agree with you on AI. I mean, I said to the team in the Department of Health, Department of Education, and Department of Social Development, we must be the first province to get rid of people filling forms. You should literally go in an app, just give us your ID number, and our information is filled immediately. So we're working hard on that. We're also working very hard on hospitals. You can't just go to a hospital needing a bed, not knowing that hospital had a bed. I mean, could have an app that tells you, Para has a bed, or Temisa Hospital does not have beds. And then, so even if to monitor the theater during operation, so we are putting a lot of technology, but for service delivery. That's what we're doing for now. And then we'll come up on other apps that we've just alluded to. But we want to have a seamless service delivery utilizing technology or innovations. And we're quite happy that 2 of the multinational companies have decided to build 4 new data banks in our province, which simply means that we can manage this kind of things. Offensive. Indeed, that's why I say we are learning from the events that we hosted before. I don't go to these concerts. I assume, Ofentse, you go to these concerts at FNB. They used to be a nightmare in terms of either your Uber, the muggings, and people being mugged, taken. Majority of these events now, that kind of behavior is dwindling. It's going down because we learn from each and every event. The only major limitation is the public transport. We are still not managing the public transport to these big events. We are still not managing cell phone coverage. If you are gathered in our 1,000, the cell phone coverage just dies. And that's when it needs to function. So I'm in discussion with the Minister of Sports. We want to approach the Minister of we need to place a special upgrade with the telecommunication companies to assist us, because people need help at that time and they want to use their mobiles, but they can't because the networks can't cope. So it means must expand. Similarly, the increased usage of what Grabber said, it's out blogger. Yeah, the jammers.
Jammers.
You know,
Signal jammers.
Signal jammers.
Yes.
That's another area that we need to have technology that can defeat that, because that's. I mean, even private security companies. I just see somebody. I mean, I was at my daughter studying exams. Normally, it's a tradition. I buy a chocolate just to. I went to one garage to buy a chocolate. I saw one person guarded by 23 people. And all of them, they're openly carrying these jammers. Yeah? We have to be taken out of a store so that this Ngondlovani, is it Mokoko from DRC, he gets into a, I mean, that's a public store. 23 people, heavily armed. I mean, I'm the Premier of the province, I'm just alone in the store. This person, I don't know who he is, and is guarded by 23 people. I couldn't even buy the chocolate that I intended to buy because he spent time there. All of us must be outside because he's inside. So I'm saying this because there is a new form of organized crime that we glorify and we're not attending to. It can't be anyone that must just be guarded like. We need to know and we need to apply. So what is it that makes you to be guarded like this? Because we can't really, and I think the Commission is giving us an idea of some of these people. So it's very important that we work. So we don't want to say after this, because we've put the systems about crime, I said to the Commissioner, and they know, we need to accelerate beyond G20. Yes. We need to accelerate. We now have the resources, we have all these things that we've been looking for, we can accelerate. So hopefully we are not going to drop the ball like we did in 2010 and leave things. We've learned, and I think, and I want to dismiss this. Obviously, the accusation it's have its own merit, that we are doing this because it's G20. I don't want to dismiss that. But I want to assure you, we want to do this beyond G20 because we've seen the formula can work. I've never met the mayors that I've met them the last 3 months. And we planned together the program. And the problem was that the mayor, Ekurhuleni, is planning his own thing, Mayor Johannesburg planning, Mayor Tshwane. When we are planning together under one roof, we can also assist the municipalities that have. I mean, there's one mayor who's been in our meetings ever since day one, Mayor of Emfuleni, because they can learn out of the challenges that they're having in Emfuleni, and we can also give support to Emfuleni. They might not have some of the big events in their municipality, but he attends literally every week, so that we can make the R59 safe as well, because that's the main road to take people to the valley. So it's this kind of things that I want to assure our citizens. We are not doing this for G20. We are using G20 as a launching pad for a permanent solution of our problems in Gauteng. And that's the approach that we are taking. Indeed, there's a policy reform that we are suggesting on many other things. And that is why the white paper on local government is currently going through public participation. It's a very important piece of legislation. I mean, let's be honest, the revenue base of municipalities has been eroded. If I give example of Mfuleni, where people are taking them literally every week, major companies that need to pay electricity, they no longer pay to the municipality, they pay to the service providers directly. Sorry, Mayor Pesta, I didn't see you. I'm really sorry. Major buyers of electricity, they pay directly to ESCOM, for example, in that municipality. Me and you have migrated to solar. Big business, malls have migrated to solar. So the revenue base of municipality get eroded. So we need a policy shift to work around this. And the white paper, I think, is giving us that opportunity for now to ensure that we clear this and find. And you've mentioned City Power. It's not only City Power. I think majority of the agencies are going through serious financial challenges. I mean, last City Power itself or the water agency in Johannesburg say, you make money, but your money goes into a bigger pot. It's not ring-fenced for you. Thus, you are struggling to get improvement of your own infrastructure. So those are kind of discussions that I think ourselves and municipalities need to work around. But the informal settlements are... No, last time I was warned that I issue strategies publicly before they're implemented. And many people fought me badly. Let me assure you, we've got a strategy to work on the informal settlement. Actually, we go even beyond the informal settlement. Today, we adopted a strategy on homelessness. During the G20, we want to assist homeless people to get out so that they benefit out of this event as well. So you'll see the plans that we have to support homeless people in our cities during the G20 period as well. The wardens, I don't know whether people have not read the public protector report or because I read it 8 times because I'm affected. The public protector says the wardens remain relevant. We are giving you 180 days to regularize them. So within 180 days, we must regularize them to function the way they are. And I can assure you we've started that process. And we'll meet that deadline to regularize them within 180 days. So we want them to be the chief volunteers during the G20, just to volunteer to guide people, where is the canteen, where are the bathrooms inside the area, but also to check the parking areas, ensure that everyone is safe during that area. So, but we are working around them to regularize them within the next 180 days. Elijah, nasi mining by a chais.
Thank you, Premier.
Thanks.
Just to indicate that we have MECs as well in the room. I think we have 7 now, so they can supplement some of the input that the Premier's made. I'm seeing one hand now. I'm not sure. Is that a follow-up? Okay. All right. Let's take this question and then we'll take your follow-up and then close thereafter.
Premier, I don't think
we're starting here. We'll come to you. We've already had your part.
Hi, my name is Panyaza from the Gauteng Premier. I'm just piggybacking on the question of the water situation. You also stated that the Rand Water as well as Joburg Water are basically saying that there will be unlimited supply of water for the G20. However, I would want to ask where this water will be coming from, given the fact that Joburg Water itself is already saying that they have dilapidating infrastructure that they need to upgrade. So, and that's where most of the water is being lost at. as well as the fact that Mayor Datamara has also acknowledged the infrastructure plans itself. So where will this water be coming from, especially considering that Rand Water is also saying they have already reached their capacity in giving Johannesburg water, or Johannesburg water. So where will this water be coming from? Will it be diverted from other residential areas that Rand Water will have to figure out? Because at the end of the day, right now we are in a state where Johannesburg does not have sufficient water.
Okay, should I take Kwena or should I take President? Yeah.
Yeah, Premier, I don't think you touched on
the President.
That and the injured crime audits in Davidton.
Okay.
What's the update on those crime?
Let me start with this one. Maybe to put it on record, we never had a warden that passed on duty purely because their nature of work is to work together with law enforcement agencies. The incident of Davidton was just ill discipline of those wardens, that they worked without the support of law enforcement agencies, and the system does not allow that. So both of them have been discharged, and the government is giving them the necessary support to ensure that they recover on the basis of those incidents. You know, our president is hard to please, and I know why. Because he said to me, Premier, these are my friends. I visited all their countries, and they went an extra mile to please us when we visited them. I don't want to disappoint them when they come to visit me. So that message still stands in my mind. So I need to please the president so that the president can please his friends. So it's not an easy task. He calls, he comes and do the monitoring on his own. He was in the city the last 2 days on his own without even alerting me or telling the mayor. And if he sees something wrong, he calls, but that is not working. Fix this. And I really appreciate that kind of a boss who does the monitoring and pushing us. It has been hard. He has pushed us, I must be honest. And in some instances, I think it was the first meeting of ministers of foreign affairs. He had to move chairs himself inside the session to change the look and feel of the area. So I don't want to share public what he's saying to us, but we'll please our president. It's very hard to please, but we will ensure that he's excited by the time he hosts his friends. Kwena, the issue of water, we don't have a problem of water. I want to emphasize that. There are two areas that create problems with water. The first one, it's illegal connections. That's the biggest. Averagely in Gauteng, we lose 36% of water that we can't account for. For example, if we buy water 100 rand from Rand Water, 36 rand of that 100 rand is gone. So we are left with 64 rand. That's the one that we bill people. So we start from a back foot on the basis that we are losing lots of water. The second area indeed is the area that aging infrastructure. But what we've done prior to this, which South Africans have not appreciated, prior to this G20, you saw around June, from November last year around June, we went high on maintenance, where people were complaining that this maintenance is too much. It's because we're preparing for this day. So there are areas indeed we have not covered all aging infrastructure. But the water that we have come from the Lesotho highlands. They've opened for it. Rand Water have opened. Rand Water have also increased its, because Rand Water has a license to buy water from the Department of Water and Sanitation. They've reached their limit. We said they must go above so that we can, and National Department has reluctantly agreed. But we meet every Sunday with the Minister of Water. The problem that we have is water that we can't account for, and 36% is too much. And that's the reason why. So the areas that don't have water now, we've reduced them. I mean, there were almost 17 areas that don't know. We are now hovering around 5. These are the areas that, as I'm speaking to you now, they're struggling with water. And that's across the province. So from 17 to 5, from August to now, we've made meaningful progress. I mean, if you check that the Hammanskraal connection is now coming in, And that has been a headache for quite some time. So the remaining 5 areas, key areas, I'm convinced. That is why I want to go to Kokosi. We want to solve the Selby area problem. We just need to ensure that we don't have this problem of water again. And to do that, it means we have to invest in our infrastructure improvements. I mean, there's one business person popularly known, and I don't want to mention his name. When there was no water in this area, I said, no, we're bringing tankers. Panyaza, inka that tanker load. So we don't want to subject people to that Stone Age way of dealing with water. So the 5 remaining areas, I'm convinced that we're going to sort them out as soon as possible. Yeah, we're done, eh?
Yes, Premier, we're done. MECs have offered time to do one-on-one if there's a need for that. But let me hand it back to the chair of the session, who is the
Elijah, please don't forget to give them this presentation. Just create a link and share it. I think it will show you where we come from and where we are in terms of the infrastructure that we've improved in our province. Once more, let Kaizer Chiefs win this evening.
Thank you very much, Premier, and thanks to men and women in the media. I think you are allowed to stay with us. There's nothing to hide from our side as 3